I want to show you how you can use Google Sheets to compute the future value of a series of cash flows. So suppose we have these cash flows of 100 in year 1, 200 in year 2, etc. And we want to find the future value of all of these in year 5. So how are you going to do this? You need to take the future value of this 4 years into the future. So from year 1 to year 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 periods. You want to take the second period cash flow and bring it out to year 5. So that's got to grow for 3 periods, etc. Once we get to year 5, we'll just add the last one in. So the general formula is going to look like this. It's the cash flow in time period t times 1 plus r raised to the big T, okay, the last period, minus t. So in this case it would be 5 minus 1 for the first one. It would be 5 minus 2 for the second one, right? And you'd find the future value in each, and then we would just sum them up. So let's see if we can do that in Google Sheets. So here are the future value of the cash flows. So let's put the formula in. It's always better to put a formula in so you can copy it down. So we're going to say it's going to be this cash flow times 1 plus the interest rate, which I've set at 10%, and I'm going to put a dollar sign in front of the 2 so when I copy it, it remains the same. And then I'm going to raise it to the power of A8, the last period, and I'm going to lock that cell there. Minus, in this case, A4. Okay, that one I don't want to lock because each one should change here. So from year 1 to year 2, but this one remains at 5. So I get the first cash flow is 146.41, and I'm going to copy those cash flows down. If I've done it right, the last one should be 500. And then I just sum this up. And you can see I just sum these values, and I get 1715.61. There's actually an easier way to do this. Just find the present value of all of these cash flows and then bring them out 5 periods. If you brought everything back to year 0, and then you could bring the whole entire lump sum back out to year 5. And the reason you might like to do this is there's a function in Excel that will find the present value of these cash flows and then add them up for you, and that's the NPV function. So in another video, I've mentioned that the NPV function doesn't actually calculate NPV. It calculates the present value of the cash flows. So it works perfectly here. And so let's see if we can do that, and let's see if we get the same number. So I'm going to say this equals NPV. I'm going to put in the interest rate, and then I'm going to put in the cash flows. So I get 1,065.26 is the present value of these in year 0. And if I want to bring it out to year 5, I could just multiply that by 1.10 raised to the 5th power. So let's see if that works. So I'm going to take this number, I'm going to multiply it by 1 plus the interest rate raised to the 5th power. And in fact, I get the same answer. So you can either set up a formula like this, or you can find the PV first, and then once you have the PV, you can simply find the future value of this lump sum, which is quite a bit easier to do. So that's a nice little technique for calculating future value of a series of cash flows.